welcome to episode 17 of the movie Lighthouse, shining a light through the fog of film. My name's James.
I'm Laurie.
I'm Wyndham.
Good, happy New Year, lads.
Happy New Year to you too.
2019. It's Blade Runner year.
Why is this the Blade Runner year?
The original film was set in 2019. Los Angeles.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
They really got the future wrong, didn't they? In all of those.
Well, you know, there's some bits that kind of do tick and some bits that kind of don't.
I mean the look rather than all the political stuff.
We're a bit off the look, aren't we?
Which is a shame.
I'm just thinking Back to the Future 2, they got it wrong as well. Although we're not too far away from hoverboards, apparently.
No. Although they've got wheels, haven't they? Have you not seen the hoverboards?
Yeah, but it's a
They've
start,
got
isn't
wheels.
it? Yeah.
But they're not hoverboard, though, are they? That seems to be a trading standards violation.
Yeah, I suppose so. Anything else? Any other features that we're disappointed by? Now we've hit the reality. I always wanted to have food in pills.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why?
I was so excited about not having to eat food because my mum, bless her, wasn't the best cook. I was talking to someone this week. One of our snacks, me and my sister were talking about this when we were young, was to have raw sausage meat sandwiches. My mother would squeeze out the sausage meat and then spread it onto bread.
Do you have diarrhea a lot as a kid?
No, not really. I've got the constitution of an ox, I would say. So that's thanks to those tasty little snacks.
I think you build the resistance as a kid, don't you?
Exactly.
Whatever you're given, it's like, no, I can cover that.
There we go. Anyway, so should we haven't got any letters or emails or anything this
People have been too busy drinking and socialising and spending time with family.
Fun out there, and thank God for that.
Yeah. So should we kick off with a bit of news?
Let's do that.
All right.
How's it going?
I've got something to kick us off with. It's kind of a strap line, if you like. Franchises in jeopardy. Da, da, da.
Right. Is this high street restaurants?
No, it's film franchises.
Oh.
So the
That makes
Aliens
more sense.
franchise, the Star Trek franchise, the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
They're all at risk at the moment. So
At risk because they've churned out a load of old toss.
well, I think so. Well, the Alien franchise, there's a lot of doubt whether they're going to be making another.
Because the last two were a bit...
Well,
Yeah.
see, so
I quite like Prometheus.
Yeah, but I agree. I think as films, they're all right. But within that universe, I think they're trying to be a bit too clever.
it's because I think Ridley Scott's he's still fronting in it, isn't
Yeah.
he? So Prometheus is taking it, and in Covenant as well. Did he do Covenant also?
Yeah.
I think he did. And he's trying to do this God thing, isn't he? We are God
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah. So admittedly, I've seen Prometheus probably a couple of times, and I didn't enjoy it, to be honest. And I think the reason why it didn't land with me is just because the design of it, the feel, the texture of it is very slick and very modern, and it feels like removed from me from really what Alien was. And if you're going to put that story there, I need it to have
The same
dirt
feel.
and
Yeah.
wet and oil and crap, which it doesn't have. And then the whole concept of it being a weapon of mass destruction didn't land very well with me. But then he takes it into Covenant, and apparently, this whole God thing gets even deeper and deeper. So I probably need to go back to it again, but it's got massive flack. No one's really digging it.
Yeah, so that looks like it's on its way out. Star Trek, they're not going to make another one by the looks of it.
See, the third one of those was
Yeah.
really meh.
Yeah,
I thought the first two were good.
Yeah.
I thought the first one was great. I haven't seen the second one.
Yeah.
That's the one with Peter Weller.
The second one.
Now, the second one, that's
Anything
where they did
with
the
Big Weller.
remake of Wrath of
Khan,
Khan.
which
Yes.
is the best Star Trek film
Yeah.
ever.
And it's really difficult to do that because you're right. It is
Yeah.
the best Star Trek film ever.
Yeah.
And Khan is wicked.
Yeah.
Ricardo Montalban.
Is that his name?
Is that
Yeah.
so?
Kirk to the last.
So that's on its way out.
He's
Although,
But with the Star Trek thing, so when J.J. Abrams again, the first film came out, and they did this such a great idea where basically they split the paradox. You're off in a different sort of timeline, so anything can happen. So Kirk goes that way, the one that we remember, which takes him obviously into the Wrath of Khan, and then Spock being
Next Generation,
all that,
Search for
yeah,
Spock,
all that
yeah.
stuff. But that first film splits it so much so you've got Leonard Nimoy explaining, okay, this is something completely new. It will go anywhere now. Brilliant opportunity. So what do? They get the second film and they go, let's just do Star Trek 2.
But
no, you do something
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
different. You
Yeah,
come
yeah.
off.
I think one of the problems was that they never really got to go and explore the unknown. You know,
Which is what they're
yeah,
supposed
the
to
whole
be
point
doing.
of it. I mean,
That
that would have
second
been a
one.
really nice
It's the
idea.
start of their 5-year mission, and they go straight back to Earth.
And don't they blow up the ship at the start of the second one or something?
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's kind of like, anyway. And then I suppose Star Wars. But just on the Star Trek thing though, the TV series is kind of going quite well, and now this year we're going to see a Picard TV series. So what's his name?
Jean-Luc
Stewart.
Picard.
Yeah, the actor.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. So he's signed up to do
Has he?
a whole series. Yeah.
I do like Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
he
so
had a
you-
moment with who's the big fat fella that's doing well in America?
James.
Yeah,
Could be a number of
James.
he
people.
had a bit of a moment with him.
James.
Corbyn.
Corbyn. James.
Corden.
Corden.
Oh.
James Corden.
Yeah.
What's he got to do with it?
Well, I think they were
Years
just
and years ago,
yeah.
Patrick Stewart gave James Corden. James Corden won an award.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart was introducing it, and James Corden was It was when he did that sketch show with the other guy out of Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah.
And they apparently, not pals with them, so don't know, but apparently James Corden got a little bit above himself.
That sounds about right.
Proper, I'm the nuts, and was somewhat disrespectful to.
Yeah, but
the
Patrick
legend
Stewart
of
was
Patrick
also
Stewart.
saying that he was like
And Patrick Stewart was having a go at James Corden for being a
out of
gauche
weight.
lout,
Yeah.
basically.
It's true. James Corden got very above himself in Peter Rabbit as well.
Did he?
I saw that recently.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
No,
But obviously a lot of people really are. But anyway.
So anyway, good luck to him. And Star Wars, I mean everyone's bored of that, aren't
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm not bored of it.
So you
I'm not
couldn't
bored of
ever
it.
be bored.
they? Yeah.
Yeah. I understand.
Do you remember the Simpsons episode where they do a spoof rip-off of Star Wars, and it's the intergalactic whatever, and they're all sat in this big amphitheatre, and there are hundreds of races around the place, and a big fucking AT-AT walker thing comes through the wall, and everyone goes, "Oh!" and they go, "Wait a minute, we're talking about Article 39 of the Interstellar Treaties of such and such." Oh yeah, sorry. Sits down and it's taking the piss, basically saying it's a procedural movie. You would still like that film if they went through the intricacies.
That's
Import,
not
export.
true at all.
You would like it if Brexit was a Star Wars movie.
Oh my god.
The negotiations rather than the concept.
No, it's just it was a poisonous pill, unfortunately, that those 3 films that Lucas decided to make, the Phantom Menace, they were just poisonous little pills that we're still getting out of our system.
I don't think that's true. I think everyone would let those go and we were ready for this, but it's just a bit of fatigue. For me, anyway.
It is fatigue, and there's some stuff that have recently come out, particularly in The Last Jedi, which has just exhausted people, some silly decisions and stuff like that, but I'm still there.
Right, well, we'll find out because it comes
And
out.
if that doesn't repay Disney's multi-billion-pound investment,
Yeah. And that's
the
thing,
theme
isn't it?
parks, I reckon.
yeah.
That's the thing. Disney is such a thing. Can
Yeah,
you
can't
trust
do that
it? I
as well.
think.
Yeah, they own the world, don't they, Disney? Right.
So is this why franchises are going down the path?
Yes,
Disney
it's
own
all because of Disney. What about you, Laurie? Got any news?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, come back to me.
Okay.
Only that, and I'm going to talk about it very briefly in a bit, but Bird Box
Oh, yeah.
on Netflix.
Sandra
Have you
Bullock
seen
in
it?
a
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
blindfold.
Sandra Bullock in a blindfold. Have you seen in the news this week that it's become a thing?
I have.
An internet, social media, meme-based thing
Right.
that people are putting blindfolds on and driving around, and then surprised when they have big accidents. There's a 17-year-old young woman in the US who did this and crashed straight into another car. Surprisingly.
Wow.
Let's
Well,
hope
what-
this phenomenon doesn't take on because I don't know if you've seen the film Hostel. Imagine if you decided to set up a hotel and just start torturing people for the hell of it.
It's just fucking insane. If that is the way we're starting 2019, holy shit.
Holy
I tell
shit.
you what though, I read something about that, and that inspired me to go and watch the film. so it worked.
Right, but did you drive over here with the blindfold?
Yes.
Just crawling along, waiting for your sat nav. Turn left.
Well, I took a time out to have a little look what we've got coming up in 2019. I saw that Denis Villeneuve, whatever it was, who did The Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, it looks like they're going to do a remake of Dune, which might be something quite interesting. However, the more I've looked into it, it's like, why do Dune again? It's not going to be as beautiful as David Lynch's, even though it wasn't really what we got from David Lynch. He wanted a bigger, better film. But it's like, there's so much other stuff in that Dune universe. Let's move on from Dune. Let's have some of the other stories, this kind of thing.
But it's a good argument that a lot of people won't have even heard of Dune, let alone seen that film.
It's a very good argument.
So maybe starting there again is a good idea.
Yeah, and he's cast who's the cool big fella from Guardians of the Galaxy, the wrestler guy.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, he's Baran, who's one of the Arconans.
I quite like it. Dave Bautista is one of those rare crossovers from kind of professional wrestling into acting, who actually seems to be able to act.
Like The Rock.
Yeah.
He's very watchable. He's very likeable, that guy.
Central Intelligence was on TV last night with him and Kevin Hart, and it's just a dumb film, but it is entirely watchable.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
no, he is good. He is really, really good. Also, the BBC, they're doing His Dark Materials.
Right, okay.
Which I did really enjoy, actually, as a book. It got a lot of flack. Obviously, the first book is a really great idea, and then it just gets progressively fucking nuts, basically. So I imagine it would be a bit of a challenge for the BBC to really pull that idea together, but they're doing it this year. You've got James McAvoy in there.
He's playing Azrael?
I should imagine, I don't know.
Did any of you watch the film about 8 years ago?
Yeah. And I really enjoyed that.
I thought it was okay.
Amber Spyglass?
Yeah, the first one.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was absolutely fine. But it was kind of shut down, wasn't it?
She wasn't very good, that was the problem.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman.
No, she was fine, but Lila wasn't...
Right, yeah.
Quite.
And has anyone read the new book? Because he's written another one now.
Yeah. No,
in
I
that
haven't
series?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, no, I haven't.
Yeah, I think it may be a prequel, I can't remember, but it's certainly in that world.
I like Philip Pullman, I think he's a good writer.
Yeah, so you've got, it's going to be 8 episodes dedicated to the Northern Lights, and then hopefully it will continue on from there rather than us being cut off. And then Stranger Things, we've got that July the 4th, so it's going to be a summer. I think traditionally they've brought it out sort of Halloween time, but this time you're going to have a summer romp. So July the 4th, that's going to be with us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Lots to look forward to there, Laurie.
Oh, and there is actually one last thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to cover Watership Down today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Rabbits.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about the iconography of rabbits in film and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But then I bumped into a film called Us from the guy who made Get Out. It was a very surprising, good, fun film, wasn't it? And actually quite a lot of social commentary about the black man. Jordan Peele, that's it. Kind of about the black man in America and the way they've been used and all that kind of shit.
What was the other film that you sent us a trailer to on Netflix?
Velvet Buzzsaw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that looks very good.
That looks into
does.
Art Kills with Jake Gyllenhaal and...
And we're going to try and watch that one together, aren't we?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
But Us, back to this new one from the guy from Get Out, which I've got his name already.
Jordan Peele.
Looks like a really interesting concept, so you should definitely go out and check out the trailer. It's coming out in March. Again, it looks like we've probably got some sort of, again, social commentary of what we've become, maybe. But yeah, there's a lot of use of the rabbit in there.
Great.
Yeah.
Big fan of the rabbit this month.
Yeah.
Okay, have you got anything else you want?
No.
Great. All right, so let's go in the bean. In the beans, where we all put forward a recommendation of something we have watched this month.
Just one.
This month. So since the last week on the podcast, just one. And Wyndham, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, so I was just saying to Laurie earlier, I effectively had December off, so I actually watched quite a lot of things. So boiling it down to one is quite difficult. And every time I watched something, I went, oh, that's mine in the bin.
Yeah.
And then I saw something else and went, oh, no, that's mine in the bin. And then I saw something else and went, oh, no. So I actually have 3 or 4.
Ooh, come on.
So you've just got to choose one.
I've got to choose one.
But you're allowed to just quickly just...
No, you're not. You've got to choose one because I've got 3. And they might
yeah, but you can just quickly just...
No. Just
So
I'm going to cut them out if anyone says more than one. Just choose one.
All right. So my choice is 2014 film called What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh.
It is a New Zealand film, and it is a kind of it's a collaboration between Jermaine Clement, Taika Waititi, who directed Thor Ragnarok, and Johnny Brew, and it basically is
all those names been made up.
It's a spoof vampire film.
Oh,
and it's basically these 4 vampires who share a house.
Yes.
And it's their life in Auckland, New Zealand, or Wellington, New Zealand, wherever it is. And it is just, it's, think Spinal Tap, think those kind of things. And it is just really funny. It was absolutely brilliant. It's about an hour and a half. It's just really silly. But it is.
Where did you watch it? What platform?
I got it off Amazon.
Okay, great.
Just really funny.
It was on Netflix kind of like this time last year.
Right.
I've seen 3/4 of it. And yeah, you're right. It's very, very good.
It is very funny.
You even got Barlow in there.
Yeah,
you know, the
original vampire almost. And it's
Barlow
just
what? From
Salem's Lot. Well, or Nosferatu, you know, kind of that.
Right, okay.
That vampire.
And it really kind of follows in the footsteps of those kind of early Peter Jackson style gore and it's such an entertaining watch.
And they cover because there's like what 4 or 5 vampires in the house.
Four of them, and they're 4 vampires. You've got the original, the Nosferatu style vampire. And if 1,000 years later, he made the next one, and then 300 years later, and it's just
so it covers
really, and it covers each of their kind of backstories, and it's just very funny.
Brilliant.
And Wellington is a place where all these supernatural animals live. So you've got vampires, you've got werewolves, and they're kind of almost like the Crips and the Bloods, and these kind of face-offs. Not anything like the Crips and the Bloods, but these face-offs between these two gangs. It's just brilliant. It's well worth a watch.
Brilliant. Thanks, Wim. Laurie.
Oh, bloody hell. Come on.
We have to come to you at some point.
I've got to say one, right?
Just one.
Oh. Just because of the context of the Lighthouse. We're doing cult, sci-fi, horror. I'm just going to have to solidify it down to a little weird number that I bumped into. Mum and Dad with Nicolas Cage. All right?
Okay.
So an odd little film, really great sort of direction, editing, creation of it. It's got a real sort of nuance to it, I suppose. And the premise essentially is one particular day, all the mums and dads, that love, that I would die for my children primal instinct completely gets flipped on its head for some reason, and every mum and dad has an absolute driven obsession to kill their children. You get the scene where all the kids like coming out of school and they're sat at school in class or whatever, and all these parents are just hoarding up to the fences going, "Oh, we need our kid, get Annie. And they're all like just trying to smash down the doors. Like, what the hell's going on? So then obviously the kids start coming out and they just get killed and maimed and destroyed. So Nicolas Cage and another, they have their 2 kids, and then obviously you're following kind of them desperately trying to kill their children.
Oh my
God.
Yeah.
It's just called Mum and Dad.
It's called Mum and Dad.
How old is it?
I think it's probably actually only about a year old, maybe a little bit more. But
where did you watch it?
On the sofa.
That joke never gets old, does it?
No. Yeah, I would definitely.
Netflix, Amazon.
It was on I think it might have been on the Sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, unique, funny, interesting. Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, I had a few as well, but I am going to go for Bandersnatch, which is Black Mirror and Choose Your Own Adventure, basically.
Yes.
Which has got into trouble with Choose Your Own Adventure. They're suing them.
Really?
Because they've used their trademarks and their references without permission. Anyway, sorry.
Interesting. I mean, I didn't think it was littered with Choose Your Own Adventure links, really. It was much better than the Choose Your Own Adventure books that I remember, because I was shit at them, And
it was always
saying that, I was speaking to someone at New Year's Eve, and they said, "Yeah, it took me 4 hours to complete." I watched it in an hour, and it seemed to end quite poorly. So I don't know.
So maybe it was like the books.
I don't know. I thought it was really good to a certain point, and then once you strip back the kind of gimmick, it's like, are you going to choose Frosties or
Sugar Puffs.
Sugar Puffs, and it's like, okay, and sometimes obviously I went back and changed the choices, and it seemed to direct you in the same direction anyway.
It's a no-brainer. It's Sugar Puffs.
No,
are you
I chose
mad?
Frosties.
Seriously?
Every time.
Over the Sugar
Of
Puffs?
course.
Whoa.
Anyway, I thought it was
That's
quite,
why
I
yours
thought it
was
quite
quick.
good.
Who would win in a fight?
Sugar Puffs.
The Honey Monster or Tony the Tiger?
Honey Monster. Because he's a monster.
Yeah, but he looks like a fluffy monster, whereas Tony's got claws.
That's a good point. Maybe they should have focused a little bit more on that. Yeah, well,
No,
so
I
kind of
think,
enjoyed
I
it.
think Honey Monster, because he'll probably throttle him. I think he'd throttle him. Maybe with his knee on his chest.
And there was a guy in it who was in sort of Rambo when he was a kid, and he's been quite a few things.
Yes. And I think he did really great.
No, I
Did you
don't.
take the
I
acid
thought I
check
could
with him?
really see his acting, because he was playing a geek, wasn't he? And
Yes,
he was doing that voice, we did the acid. Did I do the acid trip? I think that's when I.
Or did he
changed
spike
it.
you?
Oh no, when I jumped.
You jumped?
Yeah, I jumped, died, and then I had to do it again.
No, we had Colin jump.
Anyway.
No, it's a really, really great idea. I've obviously played it as well.
What do you mean, obviously? Why is it obvious that you
Because
played
I'm talking about it.
Okay.
And yeah, we got. I was never going to kill Dad. You get so many opportunities to kill
All right,
Dad.
so stop.
Yeah.
Because I never even got anywhere near that point.
Exactly. So you chose freaking Frosties. You were fucked from the outset.
Nothing to do with it. I ended up in right. No, because we're going to have loads of spoilers. But yeah, it all got very postmodern.
It's really good concept,
Anyway.
and you get to this point where he starts talking to you, and you genuinely feel
Yeah,
like
I
this
got all that. Yeah. And that was the end, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, well, it was the end for me. Anyway, there you go. Check it out. Right.
I was going to say, you actually sounded like you were bagging that. I'd forgotten whether we were on In the Beam or
maybe it could segue into my On the Rocks choice, because I haven't gotten On the Rocks, but let's have that wonderful tune.
Love on the rocks, ain't no surprise.
I do have an On the Rocks. Again, I've watched quite a lot of stuff over the last month.
Yeah.
So, I do have one, but I do have to... This is going to be edited out by James, evidently. But if anybody feels the compelling desire to watch The Meg, with Jason's favourite, don't do it.
I went to the cinema to watch that.
Or a load of balls.
Yeah, I had holiday anxiety. I was going on holiday the very next day, and I got so stressed I hadn't done anything. I slept all day, and then woke up at 4 o'clock, and we were going like at 2 in the morning or something. So it's like, I haven't packed. I'm going to go to the cinema. So I went to the cinema, and because I've been tantalised by the massive show. And yeah, it was awful. I left before the end.
It's rubbish. You didn't miss anything. But my actual On the Rocks is a Netflix film called Priest.
Ooh.
And it is directed by Scott Stewart, but it's got Paul Bettany, Carl Urban, and Maggie Q in it.
Right.
I'm quite a big fan of Paul Bettany. I think he always turns in a pretty good performance. Like Carl Urban, like Maggie Q. It's just a really lackluster film. It's basically set in a reality where man fought vampires in these big wars, and the priesthood are effectively the special forces for the humans.
Yeah.
And the war was so devastating that all the humans have kind of pulled together into this one mega city, which is run under the strict rule of the religious orders. And the priests have been disbanded because everybody is short-sighted and thinks they'll never come back. And they do. And Paul Bettany has to go off and try and it's... He's done a load of these films. He did a film called Legend as well.
Yeah.
Which I really like the...
Legend or Legion?
Legion.
Yes.
Legend is a very different film.
Yeah.
Legion. And I liked it, and it was... But they just don't quite hit the mark.
I quite
Priest
like
is another
Legion
one.
for like that junk, like
Yeah.
a little surprise. Like, oh, this is quite watchable.
But again, the other main male lead, he was in one of the Fast and Furious films. He's just not very good, and as we know, one bad performance can really drag a film down. With Priest, it's not that they're bad performances; it just doesn't quite hit the mark.
Just a bit shit.
Oh dear.
And that's on Netflix.
I've just remembered I do have one actually, because I babysat your kids the other weekend and we watched Peter Rabbit.
Yes.
With James Corden. Were we talking? We were talking earlier about James, weren't we? Yeah, it's just a bit stupid. I mean, I'm not a big fan of. I've never read anything about Peter Rabbit. I know nothing about it, but I don't think it's true to the original texts. And there is, and it was quite controversial, I suppose. But
What, the S&M scene?
well, there's a whole bit where there's a guy who's allergic. That one of the real actors is allergic to blackberries, so they like cover him in blackberries, and he like almost dies, and he has to give himself EpiPen and stuff like that. I don't know if that's really very funny.
No.
It doesn't sound very funny.
No, it wasn't very. It wasn't funny anyway.
Yeah.
Equally, and I'm not a big fan of James Corden, but I don't think he has a voice for voice work.
No, but he just sounds the same.
But
surely
that's not a problem necessarily, because we're going to talk about film with voice work, and they all sound like the actors. They're not putting accents.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
But they've got voices that really can stand on their own.
Yeah.
Whereas I think James is this.
It's just something about him that annoys me.
Oh,
Yeah,
look, he's always annoyed me, but I've kind of tried to put that to one side because.
Which must delight you, the fact you hate the film anyway.
Yeah, but because I realised, why have I got so much hate towards this guy who I've never met?
Let it go in 2019. Mate.
Exactly. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay, so on the rocks, I always feel a little bit bad. I mean, there's been a good few episodes where I've had nothing to bring here. And to make a film, let's think, I mean, how the hell do people find time to kind of make these things?
So this is why you've
that
been
has
doing
a
it
beginning,
for-
a middle, and an end. You feel very bad, and luckily I haven't watched that much bad shit. This one I'm going to put in isn't that bad. It's not that bad. Enough respect. It's got a beginning, a middle, and end. Brilliant. It's Cloverfield Paradox.
Right,
all right.
I've seen this one, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. So Cloverfield, I remember when that came out, really enjoyed it, the whole handheld kind of thing. It was kind of the early days of that. And really great idea, linked probably to the whole September the 11th kind of Twin Tower thing, but you kind of see New York smashing down and fear and panic and all that jazz, and then a big fuck-off alien monster, little alien monsters, people exploding. Great. Then you have, the second film come out. Brilliant, I'm going to see this again. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm down a hole.
What's the second film called?
10 Cloverfield
Lane. Yeah.
Is that the one with
John Goodman.
John Goodman,
yeah,
yes.
very good film.
Is that good?
Yeah, very good.
You're
Look,
down
the
a hole
trailers.
with John Goodman in this.
What's not to like?
In like
And you don't know whether you can trust him or not,
Yeah.
and whether it's even happened. And it's kind of very disconnected from the film.
Yeah.
The first one.
So and then you come up at the end of the film. You come up through the great whatever, and you see the great outdoors, and then you get kind
Don't
of the
spoil it.
alien again. So Cloverfield Paradox. So now we're just above the Earth again. It does the same thing. It's from a completely different sort of point or perspective of what this event happens, where these amazing these aliens appear. So we're working for energy for Earth. So there's this unlimited energy reactor which works with the Higgs boson thing. They're going to create it. They're going to turn it on. But there is this warning that you hear on the news. This could create a paradox. If it goes wrong, we could open up another dimension. Shit could go down. Obviously, that's exactly what happens. And then the spaceship that's holding this reactor basically goes into another parallel universe, and you kind of follow their story. As I say, it's been written. They made it. It's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's just a bit shit.
I think I don't remember it that well, but I think I remember at the time thinking that Event Horizon did the whole thing a lot better.
Yeah.
Event Horizon is a pretty heavy film, isn't it? I
Yeah.
remember getting really sweaty watching that.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of very similar. But it'll be interesting to know where they go.
Kind of deal, but a bit more stupid. It's all right. Should it be on the rocks? I don't know. If you're interested in the Cloverfield stuff, check it out.
All right, so it's time to get on to our main feature.
Yeah.
And this time Laurie chose 1978.
I did.
Lighthouse.
All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of information about 1978. Louise Brown, the world's first IVF baby, was born. Roman Polanski was fleeing the UK and then France to escape the pursuit of the US justice after admitting unlawful sexual intercourse with a 13-year-old girl. On TV, TV debuts of Grange Hill and Dallas. Good year for television.
Goodness me.
Music, Bee Gees were at the top of the charts with Saturday Night Fever. Boney M, Rivers of Babylon. Paul McCartney, Will of Kintyre, classic year. Kate Bush, Wuthering Heights.
Oh, yes.
Sex Pistols played their last gig together.
Goodness.
Who died? Keith Moon died that year.
Oh, man.
Jacques Brel. Don't know who that was.
You know Jacques Brel?
I did at the time because I wrote it down.
Jacques Brel, amazing. Like sort of a French sort of crooner, awesome guy.
Right.
Jacques Brel is amazing.
Nancy Spungen. Sid and Nancy. So Sid Vicious's girlfriend, I think.
So Sid apparently killed her, didn't he?
Really?
Stabbed her, yeah.
My notes don't say that. Okay, top films. Grease was top of the charts.
Great film.
Superman came out.
Kind of good film. Bit weird.
And Midnight Express also dominated the film chart.
Can I just quickly say some other films that are definitely worth noting?
Yeah, if you like.
I'll try and zap through them quite quickly. Jaws 2. I Spit on Your Grave. The Buddy Holly story, James.
Yeah.
Have you seen that yet?
Not yet.
Brilliant film. Superman, like you say. Convoy, Chris Christopherson. The Omen 2.
He's basically going through this list with, to try and point out how terrible our choices were.
Yeah, exactly right. Martin, George E. Romero's, which we're covering obviously Dawn of the Dead, but Martin came out, which is another George E. Romero film. The Shout, brilliant. Return from Witch Mountain. The Manitou.
I'm definitely going to put the Nosy Bug music back in it.
And that's it for now.
Alright, so we're going to start with Dawn of the Dead, so let's have a clip.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. It became the classic horror film of its time.
Not that room! Not that room!
Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times.
It gets up and kills. The people it kills get up and kill. This situation must be controlled before it's too late. They are multiplying too rapidly.
Dawn of the Dead.
Very good.
I love that bit.
Alright, so it was released in 1978. Director George A. Romero.
Yay!
Screenplay Dario Argento and George A. Romero, although I think it was mainly George A. Romero.
He was really encouraged
We'll
by...
talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, music. Well, one version's by Goblin, I think. And
No, really? No, it's not.
Yeah, bangs on about Goblin all
Yeah.
the time.
So the European
Really?
release was Goblin, yeah, but we'll talk about that as well.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
I need to know this.
It made worldwide gross revenue of 55 million, no awards, and so it was a sequel for Night of the Living Dead, and then there was what came after Dawn of the Dead?
Day of the Dead. Which is a really,
And
really good
then
film.
they made more remakes, really, I suppose, starting in 2004. And we had four main actors, really. David Enge as Stephen Flyboy Andrews, Ken Faree as Peter Washington, Scott Reiniger as Roger Trooper DeMarco, and Galen Ross as Francine Fran Parker. All right.
He's awesome.
It's also got Tom Savini in it.
Yeah, hell it has.
Who did he play?
He's
the-
one of the bikers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and he's also he was the effects guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. All right, so any connection? So when did we first see this film? I have to say, I've never seen this before. I'd seen the remake. I went to the cinema to see the remake, but I'd never seen this film before.
I had never seen this film before. I
Bloody
had
hell.
seen Shaun of the Dead,
Yes.
and I was watching this kind of going, oh, that's where I got that from. But no, I watched this a couple of days ago.
Laurie?
So I was at secondary school, and there's a guy called Graham Leatham that I used to get on the bus with, and I remember him telling me that his parents would never allow him to watch Star Wars because they thought it was too, war-y or whatever the hell it was. So he's
It's in the
bad.
title.
Too
So
war-y.
obviously his youth must have been very oppressed from my thoughts. So anyway, we were doing like art class together. Graham was there, whatever. And then we had one night drinking very, very strong lagers. And he'd bought a couple of films along to see. And I thought, oh man, this is going to be like Annie maybe or something like that.
Right.
And he opened up Brain Dead. It's a little film I'd never heard of. So we're talking like 1992, 3, something like that. brain dead, put it on. Holy shit, Graham, where the fuck did you get this film from, man? It's amazing. Peter Jackson's Brain Dead. Oh my God, brilliant. He goes, oh yeah, I got another one. Dawn of the Dead, never seen it, put it on. Oh my God, Graham, you are awesome. So it turns out Graham has had this, because of that oppressive youth, has turned into this guru film monster. Anyway, watched it, loved it. There you go. Loved it ever since.
Right, I've got to make a little disclaimer here. Zombie films are my least favourite of all the horror genre.
Right.
They always happen.
Tell me about that. Why?
Because I just don't like the logic that goes along with it. All right, so I can buy the fact that when you become a vampire, you become the undead and you need blood to survive. And I can buy the fact that if you're a mummy, you know, some ancient curse brings you back. But with a zombie, if half your leg's been chewed off, how can the muscle propel that leg to keep moving towards you?
Wait. I was with...
So, with zombies,
What the fuck?
with zombies, half their body's ripped apart or
Yeah.
not working. As soon as those ligaments have gone, you cannot use that leg. I
Well,
don't know
that's
if
fine.
anyone's ever broken their arm or
So
something.
what zombie film or whatever have you ever seen that?
No,
If
but
it's
they're
some-
all- well, nowadays they're as fast as Mo Farah, aren't they? They are quick. I mean, at least the zombies will fly. But I've never really liked it.
And you're right. There is the concept that they are unstoppable. Lack of muscle,
Absolutely.
lack of. But then, and there isn't a curse, is it? It's always a virus, isn't it?
And they never I put up with 3 or 4 series of The Walking Dead, yeah, to the point where it's been like 5-6 years now. They'd have all rotted away to nothing. How can they just still all right? It doesn't make sense.
That bit,
Look,
potentially,
listen, let's not-
part of the virus changes the molecular structure of the
So-
body so that it no longer suffers.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Biodegrading.
Well, if that was true, well, now do they continue
No,
to rot?
it does. No, they do.
Because some of them look
Oh,
really
look,
wrong.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, they do.
For fuck's
Yeah.
sake, we're
No logic.
triggling over stupid detail here.
All right.
So let's just say, yes, this virus, let's go with that one, that it allows, if your head is removed from your shoulders, your head is a single thing, the muscles, even though they're not connected and probably wouldn't be able to work in reality, this virus allows that muscle to still continue and live as long as the brain is living.
All right.
Yeah, but interestingly, you say that the zombie thing, it's always a virus, and definitely 99% of the time it is. But a really, really cool film that I want to shout out is Wreck, where you have essentially like a zombie thing going on in this Spanish kind of tower block, but then it actually transpires that it's a possession. Really interesting, really good take.
Yeah, that is a good film.
That's very good.
All right, so does anyone know about how this film came to be? Pre-production?
Well, yeah. So obviously, Georgie Boy did the
He did Dawn of the Dead about 10...
Night of the
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead. Really big success. Shocked a lot of people.
Very low budget, all set in a farmhouse. They filmed it every year and they all lived in this farmhouse, didn't they? I think?
Exactly right. And yeah, it was really quite impressive. And Hollywood obviously just got interested in him and said, look, we're interested in... We'd love you to make like a sequel on it. And he pushed it away for quite a while. And he made about 3 or 4 films in between.
Yeah. And then didn't Dario Argento get in touch with him?
Well, they had a meet. They met each other, and Argento said, "Look, you really should do like a follow-up to this. Look, I'll give you an apartment in Rome.
Yeah.
You can live like a king. Just sit down, come up with some ideas." So really, really supported him. And then, yeah, obviously he just penned this idea. I think he was somewhere in America or whatever, and the concept of like the shopping centre was still quite a new thing.
Yeah.
And this guy said to him,
Pennsylvania, wasn't it, I think?
yeah, this guy said to him, "Yeah, you could live your whole life up there. You wouldn't have to leave or anything." And that was his. Oh yeah,
That's really good. I can see somebody with that. Yeah.
All right, so let's get on with the actual film. Wyndham, what did you think of it? Did you like it?
So it is one of those films that it starts really chaotically.
Yeah.
yeah.
And because I was watching it, I couldn't find a copy, but there's a version on YouTube. So I was watching it on YouTube, and because that's obviously probably been uploaded by who knows who, I didn't know whether they'd
Laurie's
uploaded
mate
the beginning of it.
with the videos.
Yeah, possibly. Graham.
Well, how did it start?
Well, no, it starts in the control room.
Yes.
Yeah.
But because it's all, you kind of, I was sat there kind of going, is this the...
I was thinking exactly the same. It's
And
like, what
actually-
the fuck's going on?
To begin with, I wasn't
Fucking
sure.
zombie apocalypse is going on.
Yeah.
It's not going to be calm, is it?
No, exactly. But my point is, I didn't know whether I'd missed... There was a bit before that kind of frames it. There isn't. It's straight in.
Boom.
Which actually kind of, I quite like that. This is just a little snippet of what is evidently a potentially global problem.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I think it's too long.
Yeah, right, so I had much the same problem, really. I started watching it thinking, I really hate this. I mean, I don't like zombies anyway, and I don't like the makeup, and I don't like all this. And
Yeah,
then,
they are just kind of like whited out.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is brilliant.
well, they were actually, I think they were supposed to be grey, so the makeup's grey, but apparently it comes across in different colours depending on how it's lit.
So some of them are blue.
So blue and all that kind of stuff. But then by the time we got to the shopping mall, I started to get more into it.
Yeah.
And by the end of the film, I really was quite enjoying it.
Brilliant.
So it did have the effect that I wanted to, and what I had to do as well is put aside all the stuff, because the first zombie film I saw, which I liked, was Return of the Living Dead, which was about 1982.
Brilliant.
And that's where zombies are fast and it's funny and it's punk and it's great and it's just very funny, that film. And this was, you have to kind of forget all the stuff that's gone afterwards. What about you? Do you like it?
I love it. Absolutely love it. You're absolutely right. It kicks in straight away. It's chaotic. You start off with the film, the TV chat show, whatever it is, and then one girl just says, "We're still dreaming." So you're kind of at that moment where a lot of people aren't really realizing the gravity of what's going on. But then you quickly zap over to these sort of SWAT commander police fuckers, army fuckers. That I can't figure out what they're trying to do, but they're basically shooting loads of
But that's the problem,
Hispanic
isn't it?
people.
But apparently the reason they're in it is because they just went down to the local army place and said, "Do you want to be in this film? Because we wanted to use some of the equipment." So they just got loads of shots of them being in it. Apparently the same with the custard pie bit at the end. They all just went a bit crazy and went,
a bit weird.
"Why don't we just do that and see if it works?"
And it works.
Well, I don't think
No, it does.
I'm not sure it does. I think it goes a little bit too far.
It adds more texture and stuff. But yeah, that scene in the house, you got these great effects. The biting, where a woman sees her husband or whatever, and she holds him, and then he takes this chunk out of her shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, that's
brilliant. And then you see a bit where someone else gets bitten on the arm. It's like, Savini, my man, you are kicking ass, and this is right at the beginning of the film.
They went to the extreme with the effects. I've got to point out there was a head explosion. So this is the third time we've had a head explosion in our films.
And it's a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was quite good.
Remind me?
It's just before the bit where she bites. It's in the.
Where the army guy's going around, and he's just going.
Yeah.
But if you do it on freeze frame, the actual model is really bad.
So his actual head.
Yeah. But so I thought the effects were good, but I think they've just crammed way too much into this film.
Right. So crazy beginning. Yeah.
Yes.
And then you get them going into the chopper, going off. Now, this is the thing about the zombie genre. It's basically taps into, well, me personally, and I'm sure a lot of other people, that fantasy of what would you do? Everything's gone to shit. What would you do? I think I'd become, what do they go? Be a thief. I would be a bad guy. I'd go and nick stuff. I'd take stuff. I'd go in there, and then the concept.
But everyone would do that. I'd be going. I'd go to the
that,
mountains.
That was actually an interesting point
fantasy.
because when they were then Francine and Stephen Flyboy, were talking about, well, we're criminals now. We've stolen a helicopter. And you're thinking the world's falling apart. Nobody gives a shit.
We're
we've
bad
stolen a
guys.
helicopter. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of.
And
I
then
understand that kind of leaving behind the moral structure and society.
Chuck off work, chuck it all off, man. And that idea of actually having a shopping mall. You know what I mean? That is just. It's brilliant. It's a fantasy. It's wonderful.
I did like the saying that it's. You were saying about the later zombie films were much more comedic in their approach. There's some proper funny bits in this as well.
Hell yeah!
Oh, yeah.
So when they've taken off, they're looking for gas. So they land, and there's this carry-on screaming.
He's
zombie
awesome
with a massive head.
Yeah.
Just slowly walking towards him. He steps on top of the boxes, and then the roasters just cut his head off.
Which is why he obviously has a massive
exactly,
head. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why this film is so good. There's so much
the
great
inventiveness about the makeup. Because I was watching the documentary about the guy who did the makeup and the way
Savini.
they had wire and stuff to make it look like the head was being chopped off was amazing.
Yeah.
I do think it seemed dated for 1978. I thought it looked older than it was, and I think that's because it was made on the cheap.
So, comparatively, what other films were coming out at the
Well,
same time?
it was about the same time as Halloween, wasn't it? I mean, that was only around the corner, 78, 79.
Yeah, but look at what... Halloween is very much suspense.
Yeah, I
just a build-up. So it's a guy in a mask with a knife, so there's not too much to do, not much of a brief. Whereas this, it's all
Star
hell
Wars,
for leather,
look,
brains.
Star Wars had been out the year before, yeah, and they look like...
See, that's unfair.
Why is it unfair?
You can't compare anything.
Yeah, you
Stuff.
can.
Come on, behave yourself. Behave
Yeah,
yourself.
well, just because you're trapped now.
This
you don't know
film
what to
is
say.
unique. It gives you really weird moments.
I don't think
just...
it's. I think there's unique aspects of it. I don't think it's unique.
Well, I do.
All right. Okay. So should we talk a little bit about the performances?
Yeah.
All right. So they were kind of. They just got these. Anyone could be a zombie, and anyone could do what they want with a zombie. So it's kind of all over the place with that. There wasn't a style.
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about Fran. What do you think of her?
She actually, as a character, is amazing because obviously, it's kind of the done thing, probably at the time, to have women just running around screaming while the men do all the stuff.
And she stands up and goes, "No, you're not making these decisions without me. You're not doing
Yeah.
this. I need to learn how to fly the helicopter. I need to give me a gun."
Yeah.
Does she,
when
scream
Alien
once
come
in
out?
the film?
No, she refused it, didn't she? She told the director at the start.
Yeah, so that's what he basically thought. Well, that's what women do. So at this point, could you just scream? She's like, no, I'm not going to scream.
Yeah.
Girl power to Cajun Ross.
And he was very much like that. He was very consultative, and the guys, probably like the custard pie stuff and all that kind of stuff. If anyone had an idea, he'd be like, yeah, shit.
Do you know what?
Let's give it a go.
He seems one of the nicest guys ever.
Doesn't
the
he?
Director, yeah.
Yeah.
What about? All right. So what I really like. So Peter Camfrey, the black guy with a really deep voice. Camfrey, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been one of the first times that you'd had a male black lead.
Yeah, and he survives the film.
Absolutely,
He
yeah.
He comes out.
So he kind of goes away from all those cliches that we're.
Yeah.
Can we rewind? I think this film's really unique. I don't think this film's unique at all. It is. It's got that.
Well, that bit's
watching
unique.
it, you do kind of sit there going, "Oh, this is definitely unusual for this era." A woman who's got an opinion that actually people have to listen to. A black guy who survives.
Yeah.
I agree. Actually, I think there are bits in it that you kind of go, ah.
All right. Yeah. Well, there are very unique aspects of this film.
And the white leads.
Yeah.
So David Emge as Stephen Flyboy and Scott Reiniger as Roger are dickheads.
Stephen's definitely a bit of a dickhead.
And
I think Roger starts out all right. He's all right. I like him.
He's bloodthirsty. He's gung ho. He gets that.
He's
way.
not necessarily. He gets a little bit frantic, doesn't he? Because he has that moment where they're with the trucks and then
he's screaming and attracting attention to himself.
Yeah, he just kind of breaks at that point. But before that, he's a really cool guy. He's not there to shoot or kill anyone. And the way he gives Pete the cigarette, the way he hands the cigarette to him, I'm not too sure. I don't think he was an actor. I think he might have just, got the gig by I don't know what. But the way he gives the cigarette is very, very cool. So I like him. But he turns into a dick. But Steve is a massive dick.
He is definitely a selfish lover.
Yes, and I think Pete, I'm quite glad when she and him go away in the helicopter. I think Pete will be a more tender lover. Yeah.
So they changed the ending, didn't they? Did you hear about this?
No.
So the end was supposed to be that they both give up because there's nowhere to run anymore. There's no fuel.
Well, he has that moment.
That is the message throughout it. It's like the futility of survival.
Yeah, but they thought after the whole thing they'd been through, it was just too much. And I think they made the right decision to leave in the helicopter, because they do say, have we got any fuel? No, not really. Oh well, that's
Yeah.
Because I prefer to crash in a helicopter, I think, than get eaten by zombies.
Yeah.
And also, if we are ever in a zombie apocalypse,
and
I get bitten, just shoot me straight away. I don't want to wait. I don't want to linger for too. It really bothers me. That bothers me as well. They never just shoot them straight away because there is no cure for these sort of things.
No,
There isn't.
No,
So they always wait till the last minute. And I thought the makeup looked terrible as well.
I really like the makeup. That simple use
It looks like Salem's Lot. That's why you liked it.
of blue to the skin. I think
It's
it's really
great
great.
to
It
the
gives it
skin.
uniqueness. But you say about that giving up bit. So Pete does actually go to his room, doesn't he? He's like, "You go.
and he's got that
I'm going to go and shoot myself."
kind of single shot thing. And
Yeah.
he looks like he's going to do it, and then he uses that on the zombie.
Yeah. I think they all went a little bit stir crazy making this film. At the end, there's a guy in a sombrero who's one of the bikers, and I didn't
checks his blood pressure.
Well,
just for the gag, because it was for the gag that came like a minute later.
Exactly, but there's also that.
And
there are those.
That's self-indulgent.
Yeah, there are those things you were saying about the director would take on board any kind of suggestions, which is great to a degree as long as they kind of elevate it. The custard pie bit, I didn't quite get.
Yeah, it works great with the soundtrack. The more music, it's just craziness. It's talking about that fantasy again. It's just like the zombies walk really slowly.
No, I get that.
They're not really any threat unless you stumble and fall.
But people are going to see this film for a look at this heart. It's not for the story, and it's not for the character development. It's for the next nasty little bit. That's
And the thing is, if in that kind of future, I think with all these films, I think the underlying framework of it is we currently live in a society that has rules, and most people adhere to the rules. You throw that out, you have the zombie apocalypse, all the rules go away, and there's an inner innate violence to humanity that comes out in these situations. You've got a biker gang that, although he's breaking stereotypes, maybe that's it, maybe this is another stereotype he's trying to break. We have a biker gang that we automatically think of as outside of society's rules anyway. In a world where those rules don't get you anywhere, these guys, in my opinion, would be hacking the shit out of everybody, not pushing custard pies in their face.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it got to the absurd. I thought towards the end.
I don't think.
And like you said, I thought it was too long. So they've done a bit more cutting.
And the bit that was too long was once Roger is dead.
Yeah,
and you've got Stephen, Peter, and Francine learning to live in this now secure mall. And it just went on and on and on. And it was like, okay, we get it. They're going through life and the mundanity and...
Right, yeah, I agree.
No,
and then they get to the point where Francine is annoyed.
Enjoying the mall, you see like lovely scenes where she does his hair, Pete cooks them a romantic meal.
Even that bit was too long. I didn't pause on the ridiculous.
It's not too
and it was
long.
like, oh, it's all
It's
right.
just that
I thought too long.
fantasy.
Right, listen, we've got to wrap this up because we're talking for too long.
Yeah,
but
okay.
you just talking about music, from what I understand, right, so there was 2 different soundtracks. So the soundtrack that we probably all heard, that we watched, was the American version, is what we got. And then when Argento got it, he said, well, as when I dub it with for the European audiences, I want to use a different soundtrack.
Goblin.
And that's where they used Goblin.
I really need to get that version. That's a great call.
Yeah, so it might be quite interesting to watch it. And he also cut it quite a lot. Argento, do you like Argento, Laurie? Fan of his? Because he said it was way too long.
No.
So it would be quite interesting to watch his version, actually. But the music was kind of alright, whimsical, wasn't it?
The music was good. It's got a lovely... It's a very kind of eclectic... There's loads of stuff going on with the soundtrack. So first of all, you've got this bubbly electronic thing, and then it goes obviously into the shopping mall nutsness, and then you have a
little bit of African music.
You have
the gun shop.
I like the Western music, or the hero. There was hero music at the end, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine.
I do think that there are those little kind of punctuations of comedy. I think were actually, most of them were really good.
Yeah, most of them.
They do a really good, because Stephen is such an abysmal shot. They do a really good turn in bullet ricochets.
Oh yeah, yes, that's
it beautiful. You can almost imagine, someone like Steve Martin and Chevy Chase looking around in different directions, ping, ting, ping, and zombies and escalators.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, that's always
they're all
good.
just stood there and they turn the power on. It's like
have you got a memorable scene, Laurie?
Memorable scene. Oh. I love the way Roger comes up when he sits up when he's a zombie. That's cool, but it's probably got to be the zombie that's got just a little bit too much forehead. Yeah. Why does he look like that? Why is that? Oh, that's why.
I quite like the bit that either immediately follows it or immediately precedes it, where the Ken Forey as Peter is in trying to get a drink, and there's a noise in the cupboard, and these 2 little kids just hurling themselves. And
they were
kids being freaky in films is my.
I think he said about really hated to shoot those
Yeah.
kids. Which was
Oh, the director?
Yeah, the actor.
actor.
Yeah. So memorable lines. I've got. What are they doing? Why do they come here? It's part of instinct, memory, what they used to. This was an important place in their lives.
Yeah.
Well, that was quite good.
There was a great line that really emphasises how much of a twat Stephen was. When Francine was kind of going, we should just go. This isn't. We should be searching for something better.
Yeah.
And they've put all of that time and effort into turning a storeroom into a lovely modern flat. And as they're lying down, he just goes, "Well, you're the one who wanted to set up a home."
Oh yeah.
What a twat.
Yeah, he's probably
All right.
There's no more room in hell.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good line. Right, but I don't think he wrote that, did he? I think that Bible wrote that or something.
Could have been.
Walling up the stairway was a good idea.
Do what?
Walling up.
Oh yeah.
The
That
stairway, so
stairway
look
doesn't
what
exist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's
And I
good
quite like the fact
carpenter.
that
Stephen
I quite like
remembers.
the fact that he kind of remembered. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. And he made a good zombie. I thought at the end. Right,
He did.
Let's score it. Okay, so performances 7. Laurie.
I'm going to give it 7.
5.
Effects, Laurie.
Ooh, 8.
8.
8. God, we're all in
Ding, ding,
sync.
ding, ding.
Wyndham, plot.
What plot? 4.
5.
It's 6.
Rewatch factor 6.
3.
7.
Direction, Laurie.
I loved it. I think it's a great party. Beautiful. 8.
Win.
6.
7. Cinematography, win.
5.
6.
6.
Sound of music, Laurie.
6.
6.
6. Originality, 8.
8.
Ooh, I've gone 5.
Enjoyability, Laurie.
7.
7.
6.
And life-changing, past or present, Wyndham.
No.
4.
I'm going to give that. So, I mean, Graham Leaford really did serve the beans that night. And it inspired me to go out and look at all these great films I was not aware of. So I'm going to say 7.
Okay.
Well, for the first time, I think we've all kind of scored it pretty evenly. It'd be interesting to know what our scores are. All right. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm not.
Have you seen how Laurie does his adding up?
But like a child.
He does it in batches.
Yeah.
And then
It's because he was in the special class.
70.
70?
Wow.
Crumbs.
What did you get, Wim?
I got 48.
Oh. I thought we were going to be really similar. I thought all our scores were quite similar. 64.
64.
So, that gives us a what?
Gives us a 60.6 recurring.
60.6 recurring. So, right, so we should say that, 6.6 recurring puts it just below Edward Scissorhands. But we are going to...
Just below Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it doesn't, does it? The Running Man, just below the Running Man, which does feel right, kind of. Anyway, we're going to wipe the leaderboard, aren't we? So
We're going to archive the leaderboard.
Right. So we're
So we're not
going
getting rid of it.
So we're going to have a master leaderboard. So if you want to see where this score comes in all the films we've ever reviewed,
Yep.
that's going to be available.
Yep.
But we're going to have a new one for this year. Otherwise, Jaws is always going to be at the top of our leaderboard for the rest of our lives, I imagine.
Yeah, I agree. And I think when we come to select films, we should keep in mind our remit of shining a light through the fog of film.
Laurie, try and be a bit
Which is what
more
we said last
out
year.
there with your choices and your thinking.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm serious, deadly serious. All right, so we're going to move on to choice number 2 of 2019.
Which Laurie was very excited about.
Very excited about.
This film is my nemesis.
And it is...
Watership Down.
Let's have a clip.
Like a... No.
It's a beautiful day. All is calm and peaceful in the meadow. Or is it? If you look closely, very closely, you'll discover a whole new world with a world of difference, full of exciting adventure and desperate conflict.
We've got to go away from the Warren. All of us.
Go away?
Yes, before it's too late.
There's something wrong. What's he on about?
They're coming.
A world of ruthless tyranny and brave rebellion.
I'll settle with you myself, bigwig.
Come on and try, you crack-brained slave driver.
Okay, so Watership Down. It was released in 1978, directed by Martin Rosen, screenplay by Martin Rosen. It was a novel by Richard Adams. Music was by Malcolm Williamson and then Angela Morley. And obviously you've got the track Bright Eyes, written by Mike Batt, Mr. Womble himself.
Is that right?
Yeah, and sung by Art Garfunkel, Mr. Hairstyle himself.
He's the one whose arse you like, isn't it?
I don't like it, but
yeah,
there's a scene in Nicholas Rogue's film called Bad Timing where he does some great arse work.
Is that where he plays an art director?
For fuck's sake, no.
Right, it made $3 million in the USA, no awards. And
No awards?
No, well, none that I can find. And there's been two remakes, basically. There was one on a children's BBC version about 15 years ago, and then obviously one this Christmas by the BBC.
Dare I say this is the far superior
we'll
inception of the story, I think.
All right, so notable actors, we had quite a few in there. John Hurt was Hazel, Richard Bryars, Fiver, Michael Graham Cox, Bigwig, John Bennett, Holly, Ralph Richardson, Chief Rabbit, and they go on.
Roy Kinnear,
yeah.
Denham Elliott.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good cast.
Wow.
Really good cast.
All right, so when did we first see this film?
So, on the understanding of the fallibility of memory,
Yes.
I think this is the first film I ever saw at the cinema.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
I think
God.
I saw it when it came out.
Oh
so it's a
my
U
God.
certificate, suitable for anybody.
Yes.
It's about rabbits. So
It's
who wouldn't take their 3-year-old to see this at cinema? I genuinely have a memory of walking down Lemon Street in Truro, where I grew up, with my great aunt holding my hand. It was cold, it was wintry, it was icy.
You went in as a boy
And I'd just seen this film
and you came out
and was fucked up.
With Lloyd.
This film, you're absolutely right. It traumatised our generation. To be fair, it's a bunny film. So obviously, my parents, the day of VHS, yeah, not a problem. Let's watch a film about bunnies. Holy fuck! I mean, when I saw this, it must have been kind of around the same time that E.T. came out. So obviously, a lot later after it was actually made. Definitely not at the cinema. Holy cow, Wyndham. And it just kicked off, and it's just death and cruelty, and I couldn't stand it. I got so angry, because I was angry with E.T. as well. That really pissed me off that he died and turned into a dog shit and went all white, and then now this.
Did look like a dog shit. I looked out in the sun.
I got so angry, I remember, like a stupid brat maybe, damaging my beloved X-Wing. And I just said to my mum, I'm a child! For God's sakes, people! Leave me alone, I'm a kid! You know?
Oh,
Stop it!
Alright,
So I never actually have seen the whole film through its entirety. And I knew this film was kind of my nemesis. And when you kind of plumbed this for a choice, I thought, I've got to grab this film by both hands. And I'm so glad I did.
All right, well, we'll talk about
so
that.
glad I did.
Right, so I saw this, it was one of those rare treats at primary school where they showed us a film.
Instead of doing work.
Yeah, it would have been Christmas sometime, and I was blown away by it. I absolutely loved it.
How old were you?
Oh, about, not old, 7, something like that.
Wow.
But, look,
And you really enjoyed it?
I grew up on a farm, right?
Yeah.
So I have got a certain detachment from animals. So I did I did not get pulled in, but I didn't think it was gory. I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing, and I still do. I think it's an amazing film.
When you say detachment, I think it's actually the opposite. You've actually got a connection to the land and the truth of nature, and obviously this film probably goes a little bit.
Well, no, you probably tooting now.
Well, yeah, you had. You're 7 years old. You probably witnessed some stuff, man. I think, was it a chicken farm or something?
Well, no, that was what came later, but we'll talk about that another time.
Right, okay. But you had that realisation, and this film really, it might be a little bit heavy-handed, I think, at the beginning, where it does really go to town, but it has that reality, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, has anyone read the book besides me?
No.
It's very good.
Well, I'm sure people have.
I mean, it's very. This is very faithful to the book. Did we like? So, is this the first time you've watched it in its entirety?
Yeah.
What do you think?
okay, so the film started off, and I was very much still the same. Fucking hell, mate, come on, ease up. Jesus, do rabbits really do this to each other? Obviously, the evil of man, yeah, I get that, but fuck, it's just death and death and death. And then it was probably the part where they get to the hill, and it's like, I can see the world from up here. And then there's a change, isn't it? You go into that, you've got the group of other rabbits that are all very sort of fascist kind of led and that, and I suddenly realised this is fucking.
Did you like it?
Brilliant. Yeah, no, I absolutely loved it.
Well,
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's one of those films that, because I think I saw it so young, it's just always. I haven't thought about it for decades probably, but it's one of those films that's just under your skin because it is not pulling any punches. It's kind of like, look, nature's tough, right? And yes, okay, it's framing it in a different way, but it's that kind of, the fact that the rabbit is prince of 1,000 enemies, and if they catch you, they will kill you.
Yeah.
But first, it's just really, it's that kind of almost. It starts almost with like a Native American style.
Sort of
yeah, so there's two animation styles, but we'll get onto that in a second. I've realised that I forgot to do the synopsis for Dawn and Dad, so I would like, Laurie, for you to have a go at the synopsis for Watership Down, please.
The sun tells the rabbit, stop shagging, mate, behave yourself, there's way too many of you. And the rabbit's like, screw you, look at my bum. And zaps him a beautiful town and says, well, you're going to get fucked up bad. And then that's it. We kind of follow the pursuits of being a rabbit and being continuously fucked up.
So it uses the story of religion. I'm just going to move on to that. It uses the story of religion a lot, doesn't it? So the religion of the rabbits, which is this whole mythology, and obviously you've got Frith, who's God,
Frith,
and who's the rabbit called? Ella Frera,
yeah,
and the black rabbit, which I am wearing today.
You want a nice t-shirt?
That is an awesome t-shirt and a beautiful design. Again,
I'm going to jump across the table, come for you.
Yeah.
And it's a quest story, isn't it? So they're on. We've got a psychic rabbit played by Richard Bryars.
Yeah.
And he sees that the Warren's going to die and blood everywhere. So
and how does it die? You've got that scene. Again, deep, traumatising scene of the rabbits in the holes, desperately trying to get out, all crunched together. And
so the synopsis is there's a young rabbit who's a little bit psychic, who foresees the destruction of their burrow.
Yes.
And he persuades his brother and a few other rabbits to leave their burrow and find a new life somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But that scene where he sees he's out. They're out kind of eating at twilight, and he just says, look at the field, the blood.
The
blood. As in the whole field is turning, bloody hell. And then, as you say, later on, one of the rabbits who doesn't go with them finds them and says, man came and dug it up, and they filled in our burrows, and there's just all these little kind of cartoon it's all cartoon, stylised rabbits being squished into the middle, suffocating, and their eyes are going bloodshot. Yeah, it's not. Bloody hell.
Yeah, you like that, kids? You like that, huh?
So we're thinking a little bit about the story. I mean, it's quite detailed, isn't it? I mean, it goes to quite a lot of effort of creating a whole language for these rabbits. So you've got like the police of the Owsler. You've got Melendra. Do you know what a Melendra is?
No.
Melinda Melendra? Oh, no.
My favourite, a Roodadoo.
A Roodadoo, yeah. Which they stop saying part of the way through.
Do they?
They just go back to road.
No, a Roodadoo's a car.
Ah.
Yeah, so that's probably why.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Which other films have used their own language so effectively?
What's that film with Mel?
Like teacher.
With
I was thinking.
She made up her own language.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Now, you said Mel, did you?
No, I said no.
Clockwork Orange I was thinking of.
Oh my god, yeah, of course, yeah.
I also thought Trainspotting, then I realised it wasn't a made-up language, it was Glaswegian. Alright, so...
bit of the in and out.
Wow. What do we think? Well, let's talk about performances a bit. Richard Bryars.
Go on.
Oh, I loved him.
Me too. I think actually when you start going down this cast list, you just think, bloody hell, this is a snapshot of 70s British, mostly British, icons. It's just full of them. You mentioned a whole load of them to begin with, but you've got people like Terence Rigby, Roy Kinnear is in this, Richard O'Callaghan. We've mentioned Denham Elliott. Zero Mostel. Does anybody know Zero Mostel?
Is he the seagull?
He's the seagull, yeah. Kehar.
Yeah. He died, I think this is his last gig.
Yes, I think it is. But I would say he was evidently told, you're like the light entertainment in this film.
Which is important, really. I mean, he was my favourite when I was a kid.
Nightmare.
He was my favourite, and I realised, watching it again, that it's probably because he sounds quite like Stiletto from Danger Mouse.
He's foreign, Mediterranean.
Well,
maybe that's it. But he is that kind of. He is the comedy, because that little bit where he sat in his burrow in the entrance to a burrow, and I don't know whether it's Bigwig or not Fiver or Richard Pryor's rabbit. Hazel comes up behind him and runs under him and he goes, "You stupid bunny!"
Yeah. And at that point, that inspires him to say, "You need to find women."
Yeah.
It's like, what? I've got this great plan. He'll help us if I bum him in the bum, and he'll say, "You need to shag women." Or shag rabbits.
And towards the end, when General Woundwort appears, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's sinister, scary.
So good. But also, it's got that level of detail. Yeah, sinister, scary, but it's more than that. Because he becomes a legend for the rabbits that he'll get.
And I think this is,
and it says he would be actually quite pleased with that. So he's part of their legend.
You don't hate him. He's just not an archetypal villain.
Yeah.
He's got more to him.
Yeah.
And the same with the chief at the start, when he's eating away his cabbage or whatever, or his dandelions and stuff, and he's pretending to be interested and then gets Hazel's name wrong. He calls it Acorn or something. Yeah.
It's wonderful detail.
And then, so he's always that kind of... He's almost... Right, this has only just come to me, so bear with me.
Yeah.
The game show host and Running Man.
Yeah.
Killian. You know that I'll say something to your face and then behind your back I'm doing something completely different. So it's when Bigwig... He's like, "Bigwig!" When Hazel goes, "Isn't your job to protect me from this kind of..."
And it just fades out of his... I've got a feeling this may have fallen into the wrong area. But worst actor award goes to the guy who wants to buy cigarettes. Pretty sure that's probably in Dawn of the Dead.
Although Fiver could do with the fact.
Got any cigarettes?
Yeah,
that's not in this.
So we've got two animation styles. And this is another reason I love this film. The way it opens is brilliant.
It's separate animators though, isn't it? So they changed, director or animator changed.
Oh,
early in the production.
I don't know about that. I do know that it was made.
He died. I think he died.
It was made quite low budget, and it was. They had a massive warehouse on Warren Street. Strangely enough,
renowned for warehouses nowadays.
Absolutely.
Central London.
But that initial 5 minutes telling the story, I used to be fascinated by that. I was always a bit disappointed when it turned into the watercolour
no
painting. But now I appreciate that a lot more.
Yeah, it's just sort of, it's that deeper sort of spirituality, that whole folky kind of feel to this, and it's an absolute gem, this film, because it's deep and it's real and it's connected, and so having that sort of spiritual kind of opening is wonderful. And once I kind of got over again, once I got into the tick of the film, the cruelty and stuff, there's this moment where you see the seagull flying over and then you see the rabbits below, and it's going over like all the fields and stuff, and it suddenly struck me, this is beautiful. It reminded me quite of David Hockney. David Hockney a few years ago started doing a lot of paintings of trees and countryside, stuff like that. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I think the animation is very individual, very unique to itself.
Yeah,
it's an absolute gem, this film.
Yeah, little British gem.
And I've read that opening with Michael Hordern as the voice of Frith and giving the backstory. It's just so beautifully done, and his voice is perfect.
It is, isn't it?
When we were talking earlier about James Corden, and he's not got a voice for voice work. Everybody in this cast has just got the perfect voice for what they're trying to do. And him, Michael Hordern, is as the voice of Frith and the voice of the narrator. Fucking blew me away. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Watching it again, I did feel that the last third of the film dipped a bit for me. I got a little bit bored.
No, I really see. I like that. Yeah, that kind of glued it all together for me.
Yeah,
and he goes off and
I think so. It was just, I don't know. It was trying to.
For me, coming to it for the first time, because the beginning is such a smash in the face, and it calms down a bit, and you got that little story of them getting the bunnies away from that fascism, whatever.
Yeah.
It just glues it together. It makes it. I really like it.
I did think Hazel and Bigwig are somewhat optimistic that they can infiltrate Woundwart's burrow, identify those who want to leave, and put a plan in place in about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And get that then through Zahar the seagull back to Hazel and everything expect to be okay. I thought that was a bit...
Yeah.
But, they're rabbits. They work quicker.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the music. So it was... you've got this guy, Mike Wilkinson, who was this Australian who created a load of classical pieces. He was supposed to do the whole thing. Apparently he fucked off to Australia and left like 1.5 pieces completed. So this woman, Angela Morley, came and took over.
Right.
Now, I really like the music. I think it's really distinctive. I think it fits with the watercolour style.
Yeah.
And I remembered it. I can remember loads of the music as it came up. I was like, I remember this. I don't usually remember incidental music. Anyone else?
Yeah. I'm still quite new to the whole watching the film from beginning to end, but yeah, it is. I think it fits perfectly. I think it's just beautiful.
And we've got to mention obviously Bright Eyes because I think it was at the top of the charts for about 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think it was fundamental to getting the film released over in Britain because I don't think it was doing very well. Couldn't find a distributor, and then
the song hit the charts.
Well, the director took the song and played it on Terry Wogan's radio show.
Terry.
And went to the top of the charts right away.
Wow.
And it is, I think that for a long time was kind of a bit of an iconography of British Bright Eyes. You know, it was everywhere, wasn't it, for about 10 years?
Yeah, but it's just such a dark message, and it was definitely sort of, albeit the director says that this film was never intended for kids, but obviously it did fall completely in that space.
It got a U certificate.
Well, yeah.
So it was obviously that's the reason I, as a 3-year-old,
there were two versions of the book. So there was a children's version of the book and an adult version of the book. So they couldn't. So they decided to just pitch it for everybody. So they put. It's very faithful to the book.
What's the difference between? You haven't read both versions.
No.
Do we know what the difference is supposed to be?
Shorter, the children's one with bigger words, bigger font.
But the director said so that for the poster choice, I want a rabbit in a snare with blood coming out of its mouth.
Yes.
Just a little indication.
Yeah, what you're
might not be that kid friendly. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It was given a U certificate for 38 years.
Yeah.
And then Channel 5, about 4 or 5 years ago, Easter holidays said, oh yeah, let's put the bunny film on for the kids. Like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever. And then quite quickly, they're getting phone calls and messages. Yeah. What the hell are you playing on our TVs? So this new, traumatisation for the next generation it was. So at that point, the British certificate realised actually maybe we need to reassess this, and I think they've taken it to PG now.
Is that right?
Because they warning.
This is a film they get complaints every year about the fact that it's a U.
Well, I think people are too sensitive.
I agree.
Well,
see, now actually, it's a real example of that. This is classic 70s. Irrespective of whether the director felt it was a kids' movie or not.
Yep.
The BBFC rated it a U.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is just absolutely synonymous with our upbringing. It was kind of like nothing is sugar coated here. This is it's for kids because it's got this kind of twist to the story or whatever. But villains are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
In any film of this era.
Yeah.
The message is pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Get over it.
We say all the time, I say, I know for sure, but my generation was blessed. We were blessed with so many things. And this film is such a rarity. These kind of films do not come around that often.
No.
And there was that element with our generation where sometimes you get these sort of non-sugar-coated lumps. I was just thinking what other films we kind of had.
There's
When
nothing
the Wind
been
Blows.
like this before, or like it since, except maybe When the Wind Blows.
Yeah, I've been thinking. Where the Wind Blows, that was fucking hell. Threads. I mean, admittedly, that might not have been
An animation.
Kids' audience.
Not at all. Do you know Threads?
No.
All right, so it's one of the darkest short TV series. It's like mini-series for TV about a nuclear war. And it's just the bleakest, awful is Sig.
But then again, you know, When the Wind Blows is comparatively.
Oh, I do know When the Wind Blows.
Yeah, that's fucking
that's
hardcore.
pretty
now.
hardcore, yeah.
But then we had those public awareness adverts as well, didn't we? As scary as fuck.
Don't fly kites near electricity pipes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Don't fall into ditches and drown.
Maybe we should go back to stuff like that. Bearing in
This
mind,
is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. We were blessed.
We were earlier just talking about a 17-year-old young woman in the US putting a blindfold on and driving a car.
Yeah.
We maybe should go a little bit back. And do you remember the drink drive adverts? In the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
And then you end up with a car in a tree. Yeah, let's go back to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Add a bit of reality.
All right, but so should we kind of wrap this up a little bit? Has anyone got some memorable scenes? I thought there was quite a few. For me, Bigwig in the snare. You know, and then he survives.
He does.
Thank God. I really like Bigwig.
And I can't remember the line. It's kind of go, what is the line? It might be on your T-shirt.
All the world will be your enemy. No.
It's, did I write it?
Favourite line for me, it was something about bargain. There is no bargain, there is only what is and what must be.
Oh, yeah, that's quite good. There's, that's really annoying. But it's basically just a little line Hazel says about,
You have a look for it.
When he thinks Bigwig is dead.
Okay.
I think you left it over by the shelf there, Wyndham.
For me, the other memorable scene is obviously when Hazel dies at the end and the black rabbit turns up again.
But it's good because they've aged him. He's a grey old rabbit at that point.
Yeah.
The line is
Yeah.
when they think Bigwig is dead and Hazel says, "My heart has joined the 1,000 for my friend stopped running today."
Oh my lord, it's sad.
Right at the heart, that is. And then he goes, "Bigwig!" No! One of the scenes
such a good film.
When the rabbit who was one of the kind of guards at the original burrow finally catches up with Bigwig and Hazel, and he's got the scratches on his arm because he's been through Ephrata and he's escaped. And they go, "How did you get away?" He said, "Oh, well, they chased me and I ran across the Iron Road and the two other rabbits are just on the track and the train just goes just straight over the top of them." You know, holy shit.
Do you think it stands up today?
Yes.
I think the animation's a little bit weak. I'm going to be really critical.
Oh,
but I think that's.
I love
painting. It's okay.
I
I think it gets away with it because of the style that it is. You know, it's not. Yeah, it's obviously pre-CGI, but you would never mistake it for that nowadays. And some of the scaling is a bit weird.
Yeah,
but I definitely think it stands up.
And this is the real shame, isn't it? I mean, can I show this to my kids? Will they be engaged with it? Will they enjoy it? I really hope.
Well, you're talking about not protecting them, and you're protecting your own children.
Yeah,
You've got to start at home.
I know, but it's got that. I'm going to say it again. I've said it 1,000 times. That folkiness,
your wife's not there.
That spirituality, so that animation.
Part of the Lemon Twigs album, but you'll just be in the living room, happy as Larry. My memorable line is obviously, "How can a light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so
it is
pale?"
Fucking hell, man! Ease up.
This is definitely not a film to watch with a hangover.
No, get out.
Oh my God, I'd be in tears. And I think it's quite good that Kihar, the seagull,
goes.
Yeah,
leaves.
Leaves. He leaves the film because I think he'd be really bloody annoying to be around all the time. He's a nice little, but it's like, Jesus Christ, shut up, go away.
All right, let's score it then, shall we?
Let's do that.
All right, the Laurie performances.
8.
7.
Wyndham effects.
Yeah, how are we going to equate
I've gone 8.
Well, effects I've put as really, we're talking about the animation here because it's all one big effect. I've done 6.
7.
Plot. 7.
Hold on. I've done these the wrong way around.
Okay.
I was
7.
6.
Rewatch factor, Laurie. It's taken you, 42 years to watch it?
It's incredible. It was so incredible.
So you please,
you were so negative.
You were so negative.
But would I be in a massive rush to watch it again? No, but I know it's important. But I would say 5.
Okay. That's an 8.
I'd say 5.
Direction, Wyndham.
6.
6.
6.
Cinematography, Laurie.
It got that whole Hockney kind of beauty to it. Its uniqueness. 6.
7.
5.
Sound of Music, I've given it an 8.
Okay.
I'm giving it 7.
I'll go 7.
Originality, Wyndham.
7.
It's 8.
9.
Enjoyability, Laurie.
Isn't it? It's wow. 7.
7.
I've given it a 5 because I don't think it's enjoyable.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going for the word there. Life Training, past or present, I've given it an 8.
I've given it a big 6.
That's an 8.
Great, right, well, let's add them up. Okay, I have given it 71.
I have given it 60.
So,
fucking hell.
There's a count.
70.
Gives it a movie Lighthouse rating of 67.
67, which puts it exactly the same as An American Werewolf in London.
Wow.
Just below
Brilliant.
Salem's Lot.
I'm really
but
happy with
above
that.
Donnie Darko.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
all right with that.
I'm really happy with
That's
that.
pretty good.
See, we're all happy with Watership Down.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
We've shone the light through the fog of your film, Laurie.
Yeah. And I should imagine this recent one that came out, reworking of Watership Down.
Didn't work for me. I thought the voices were alright, but the animation let it down.
I saw a little scene where John Boyega, I think he's playing Hazel,
Right.
and he's just constantly angry and shouting. That's not Hazel.
Yes, you're
Hazel
absolutely
is
right.
charming.
Yes,
He's-
yeah. And I think they lost the charm. And what you were saying about the villains of the piece, they weren't just villains. You saw the charm about them as well. He would have liked to have been the guy that scared little rabbits. He would have been
pleased with that. Yeah. This beautiful.
There we go. All right. So whose choice is it?
I think it's my choice.
Yay! How exciting! So, if me and Laurie have the same film, then
Not going to
obviously
happen.
We're going to. I think we were wrong. Actually, that's what I'm saying.
And
That's
guys, right, this year, listeners, okay, so we're trying to bring you cult, horror, sci-fi, shining the light through the fog of film.
Have you got the notebook theme in your head again, Win? What are you trying to say?
I want to give you some stuff.
We've just given them we've just given them two extremely different films.
I actually, I submit.
Great. End it then. Right, let's go.
Okay.
Exciting.
Quick rummage.
Look at me.
What's that from?
That was that guy.
Ready?
Yeah.
It is the number 90. 90.
Oh my lord, that's right at the end, I think. And it is Sympathy for the Devil.
Lighthouse.
Alright, so we have our choices for our category Sympathy for the Devil. Right, I'll give you my first one first.
Okay.
It's quite a well-known one, but I am going to go with The Omen. Gregory Peck, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay. Mine's not that left field, first one. Film I used to really, really like a lot in my youth. Haven't seen it for a while. Like to see it again. Angel Heart. Alan Parker's beautiful. Mickey Rourke, Robert De Niro. Angel Heart.
Okay.
Right, my second choice is a film from 1998 called Fallen, which is quite a nice little film. And it's basically about the devil, but it moves from person to person through touch.
Okay. It's got Denzel Washington in it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a good film.
This one is definitely worth a watch, I think. I've seen it once, and we need to go back to it again. It's a British film called Blood on Satan's Claw. Which is kind of about this town that's worshipping something and why, and the pollution of innocence. Blood on Satan's Claw.
So, Will, you have got at least 3 excellent choices to choose from.
Very much a cult film, that last one.
A cock film?
Yeah. Cult.
Okay, so I have seen 2 of these films.
Which are?
Which are James's.
Okay.
Haven't seen either of yours. And I think, because it is one of my favourite films, I'm going to pick The Omen.
Good choice.
And because of our getting back to the roots of why we're doing this, I am going to pick your cock film. Blood on
Satan's Claw. Okay.
My only question on that is it going to be another Hiroko? And we won't be able to.
No, you have made two excellent choices. I think it's a real classic. So I think we're good. And when was it? It's old, isn't it? Was it like 60s?
I think it's early 70s. You've got
right. So
70s.
Yeah. But even though they're right, so it's quite interesting because even though they're both going to be in the same decade, they're very, very different.
Yes.
Great. Well, that's exciting for February, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's it. I think we better wrap it up.
I think so. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for listening. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
This is the thing that I've always had. When the Flintstones come on, the bird gets pulled and Fred goes down the tail. And I'll go, Mum, can I have some pork chops? Because I'm watching that, and they're like meat eaters, and I think there is like a big
It's on the side of his...
Yeah, they go to the drive-through.
Yeah, so I'll always want to eat pork chops. If Dirty Harry eats a hot dog, so every time I had a hot dog, I always had to say, just wait until the KFC
Is your thing
arrives.
the hot dog?
Yeah, no, that's me being Clint Eastwood.
Is that the dog?
No, Clint puts his little finger out a little bit. Salami, I'm Luke Skywalker, and I don't know, it feels like we're being watched. And then there's Yoda, so that was salami, so it's obviously a thing I've got. So this whiskey Blade Runner thing.